addictive emotion is the emotion that you primarily go to. It's the one that is just like a habit and you can't seem to help it. So let's talk about some examples of addictive emotions. I will tell you the one that I seemed to be programmed with the most as a child in my perception was guilt. And so guilt was an emotion that I just seemed to turn to when I felt like I did something wrong or bad, or I was in trouble, and I was always trying to be the good little girl. And guilt is an emotion that let's look at guilt, the emotion of guilt on the consciousness map. Where does it reside? It's at the very bottom. It resonates at about a 30 frequency, the energetic log. David Hawkins recorded. Shame is below that. Does anyone want to tell me the difference between guilt and shame? Shame is the very deepest, darkest you can go in your life. When you have felt dark in your life, you're in a place of shame. Shame says, I am bad. Guilt says, I did something bad. Guilt, you can say, I did something bad, so I must go do something good to juxtapose that, to make it better. Shame says, I'm hopeless. It's just, I'm defective. And when suicide takes place, it's because a person is in that space that I can't be helped. It's a place of hopelessness. I can't get out of this dark space, and nothing can help me out of it. Nothing or no one. So it's a really heavy, heavy place. And if shame is your addictive emotion, if you feel that you are bad and wrong, intrinsically defective every day of your life, then we have some work to do. And that would be your addictive emotion. Guilt is just above that. But know which emotion you go to the most often and why. Which emotion do you run the most in your life? And you can look at these to give you some ideas. I have lists of emotions, but this is essential in knowing that when I get into an upset, when I get irritated, when I feel bad, which emotion is my predominant emotion? Now, knowing this is vital for self-awareness because that emotion gives you a payoff. That emotion serves you. And we want to delve really deep today to find out, hey, how does that emotion serve you so well? What part of that emotion do you enjoy hanging on to and why? Let's take the emotion of anger. Anybody like that one? I've used that one a few times. Now, anger isn't always unhealthy. I will tell you that. When you have been in a place of being taken advantage, well, the laws of attraction, when you have put yourself in a place where other people have taken you for granted or taken advantage of you, then feeling irritated about that and moving into a place of even a little anger can help you to pull you out of space, to be like, wait a minute. Now, first of all, I'm going to throw something out there that's going to challenge a lot of your belief systems. No one's doing anything to you. You've called the experience to you. I know that's a tough one. But the reason why is because you vibrate. You have this energy field around you. And guess what happens when you feel bad and wrong? When you feel guilt, when guilt is your go-to emotion, guess what you will attract? It will just naturally happen. You will attract people in your life to make you bad and wrong and to put you down. And to, especially, when you feel like you've been working really hard and Nobody's noticing or acknowledging them. And it feels like you have to prove yourself all the time. That's your vibration. That's what we need to work on, is it's your energy field. It's your auric field that just is happening all the time. And it's what brings life to you for your perfect learning. And so if you can understand that life isn't being done to you, you're calling these experiences and people to you so that you can become more self-aware of what your frequency is doing. And your frequency is doing that based on your addictive emotion. So we have a thought, then we have a feeling. That feeling turns to energy, and we call that energy in motion is emotion. Energy in motion is emotion. That's really important for you to know, because it will help you to become more self-aware. And being self-aware is the first step to healing your patterns that are hurting you. So, does anybody have some examples of their addictive emotion? Oh, let me finish with anger before we go there so you understand it and have some compassion for yourself when you get angry. As children, we learn to get angry when somebody took something from us, right? Or we didn't get our way. And that anger served you at some point as a child. It benefited you. It gave you a payoff. And so as a child, you learn to turn to anger to get what you want and need. I'm watching one of my grandchildren do this right now. And I'm going, God, those thoughts, I run her to the mirror. Kind, I'm beautiful. I can do hard things. But she's turning to really aggressive behavior to get what she wants. And it's just because there's a payoff in it as a child, and so it becomes our addictive emotion. And that's where in the drama triangle, that's in another segment we studied that one of the parts of the drama piece is the bully or the perpetrator. Because they learned as a child to be aggressive in order to feel better in life. So anger, if you look at where anger is, look how high it is on the scale. It's actually better to feel angry than to feel shame. If you're angry, you're probably not suicidal. You're going to do something different in your life. Anger can create change. Now, when anger becomes problematic is when it's your go-to emotion and you're constantly projecting anger onto others. Irritation and anger. But you'll see it's above apathy that says, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't like life. Sometimes we have to get angry enough to get out of bed. Say, damn it, you have things to do. It's okay. Get out of bed. So anger is such a fascinating emotion to study when you yourself feels it. I'm going to have you pay attention. Is that anger serving you to pull you out of a depressed state? Or are you using it as manipulation to get what you want? Okay, who has some examples of an addictive emotion that you notice that you turn to? Fear. Oh, thank you, Steve. I would say every human being on the planet goes to fear. Another element of the ego. This is so great. And A Course in Miracles teaches it's so simple that you're either in fear or you're in love. And by paying attention to which one you're in, all of those emotions reside under fear. In fear, because when we feel guilty, it's because we're fearful we're not good enough. And when we're feeling shame, we're fearful we are really bad. So fear of the past. Past is running my life. I can't get past it. Can't let it go. I can't forgive. I can't move forward. Fear of the future is worry.